All right, from key areas to key moments, I think we can bring in some live pictures now coming in from Uskudar, where the president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, is casting his vote or turning up at that makeshift polling station to cast his vote. Sinem Koseoglu is there. Let's bring her back into the picture. And I know you may have a little bit going on around you right now, Sinem, but picking up on the point which Alexei was talking about, key areas. One of those key areas, of course, is Diyarbakir, where you've been spending some time. Talk us through the dynamics playing out in areas like there between the nationalist and Kurdish vote.
Well, yes, Sami. By the way, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan just arrived. I'm just moving aside so that you can see clearly. He's getting inside the school to cast his ballot. He's here with the First Lady. And an hour earlier, his younger son arrived here to cast his vote with his wife. And always, you know, when President Erdogan is here, there's a cheerful crowd chanting for him, as this area is his one of his vote base. And coming back to your question, in Diyarbakir, we spent the last couple of days out there. Diyarbakir is known as the capital for the Kurdish politics and for the Kurdish culture. And it is one of the 11 cities that was affected by the earthquake. And we have spoken to so many people there. Some of them really want to change. And Diyarbakir votes for the pro-Kurdish party. However, during the first round, they voted for Kemal Kilicdaroglu, the main opposition candidate, because the pro-Kurdish party, which joined the election under a different banner this time, announced its support for Kemal Kilicdaroglu. However, there is a game changer here, not only for President Erdogan's alliance, but also for the opposition candidate Kemal Kilicdaroglu, because both sides have pro-Kurdish parties in their alliances. But after the first round, as Sinan, the third candidate, who received an unexpected vote of 5.2%, is now split between the two sides. They are trying to grab the nationalist votes, which were the new kingmakers of the second round. And there are a few nationalist parties in Turkey, Sami. And when you calculate, when you add up their whole votes, it's about 25%. So besides the Kurdish votes that are nearly 16 million people, that constitutes 20% of the whole population in Turkey. Now you have the nationalist votes as the kingmakers. It is a very difficult task for President Erdogan and his challenger Kemal Kilicdaroglu to strike a balance between those two sides, because they are against each other, because those far-right parties support the crackdown on pro-Kurdish politicians. And when you speak to Kurdish people in the region, they feel offended, they're upset, because a reconciliation process that was launched by the ruling AK party under President Erdogan's reign was officially withheld in 2015, though they started to solve the problems in the region. But now they are backing the Republican Party, main opposition party leader Kemal Kilicdaroglu, who is known to be, that party is known to be oppressing the Kurdish rights, banning their media. So there are so many things that you can call as the first time. But of course, for the Kurds, they are concerned about the far right's potential influence on Kemal Kilicdaroglu if he comes to power, because Kemal Kilicdaroglu promises freedom, but that kingmaker nationalist votes, they are in favor of the crackdown on the pro-Kurdish politicians. Some of them are already in prison. Some of them have been, their parliamentary seats have been ripped off. So this is a challenge. How Kilicdaroglu or Erdogan is going to act is unknown. Everything is going to be clear after the results today. But in Turkey, things change very quickly. You would never expect a pro-Kurdish party align with the Republican Party, but they're aligned in the presidential round. Now you have a far-right party that is allying with that alliance. So everything is full of surprises in Turkey. This is what I have to underline, Sami.
Erdogan going through the process of casting his ballot, having his ID checked, getting his voter card, and word has just reached me that almost exactly in the same moment, in another city, Ankara, the capital of Turkey, Kemal Kilicdaroglu, the leader of the opposition and the opposition candidate for the presidency, well, guess what he was doing? Casting his ballot at the Argentinian school there, almost perfectly choreographed or coordinated at the same time. And I guess, Sinem, it's just another visual reminder of how much of a head-to-head is happening here between these two very different candidates.
But we are hearing some people, especially among the opposition, are already disappointed. Some of them told us that they don't want to go to the ballots. But both sides, both the governing side and the opposition side, are urging their supporters to go to the ballot boxes to show their will. But of course, this is a neck and neck. This was a neck and neck situation in the first round. Now this is a neck and neck because both sides are trying to grab those 5.2% votes. Even that far-right nationalist alliance is now split between Erdogan and Kilicdaroglu. So which leader? Is it Sinan Ogan, the third candidate, or Ümit Özdağ, who led that alliance with his ultra-nationalist rhetoric and discourses, especially his anti-refugee discourses, will mobilize those far-right voters' support is unknown. So we don't know whether that 5.2% from the first round really belonged to Sinan Ogan or the secularist, Kemalist fraction that is represented by Ümit Özdağ. That's why still everything is neck and neck, despite Erdogan was 5 points ahead of Kemal Kilicdaroglu in the first round.
We don't know indeed, Sinem. Thank you so much for your reporting there from Uskudar. But we might just start to know or get indications after 1400 GMT, 5 p.m. local time. The High Election Commission says it's going to meet and review and decide whether or not it's going to allow media organizations to start reporting on some of the results and indications of results. So we'll be here. Our special coverage will continue. For now, I'm going to hand you back to Doha.
Sammy, Sinem in Istanbul, thank you very much. We've just been watching the live pictures of what's probably one of the highlights of the day so far, the incumbent president Recep Tayyip Erdogan voting and his rival Kemal Kilicdaroglu also voting just moments ago.